Our guest is the accountable manager for Dana Airlines, Mr. MBANUZO, and he believes airlines must recoup the cost of operating a flight among other expenses, and so fixing prices for seats is not so straitjacketed.
Airline pricing is more complex. It has fixed costs. So an example is insurance. I know how much it's going to cost me to insure this airplane for a year. Now, what's my variable cost? Well, I don't know how many people are going to fly on my first flight to Abuja tomorrow morning. And I need to recover the cost of operating that flight to Abuja, the total cost. So how do I price the ticket? If there's only going to be 2 passengers on the flight, do I charge each of them 100,000 naira so as to get 200,000 for total revenue or not? So airline pricing is a cost. So airfare starts from the point of view, what can the market bear? It doesn't always necessarily cover the cost of operation, but airlines always do their best to ensure they cover the cost of operation. People that have leases, dry lease. So a dry lease is a fixed cost. You normally tend to lease an airplane for a fixed amount of money per month. In essence, segmentation starts from the point of view of trying to maximize the revenue. I guess you remember in the old days, and I'm referring to Nigeria now, where the airlines had only one price. In my experience, by the time I came back to Nigeria from my studies and working experience abroad, I remember then the fare was generally 10,000 naira. So that one fare for 10,000 naira. What you find is there's a demand curve that goes downwards. So what you found was that 10,000 naira was at the point where a certain group of people could afford or pay 10,000 naira. And they come to the airport, pay 10,000 and go. The airplane might be 80% full. So in essence, the 20% that was empty is a waste because the airline has paid certain monies for that 20%. You've probably loaded catering in expectation for that people will sit there. You've paid the landing charge, takeoff charge based on the weight of the airplane. You paid fuel, you fueled it, expectation. So that 20 seats are a waste. So airlines trying to maximize their revenue, then started what we call, well, we started first of all trying to have different fares. And I raised my hand and say I was one that brought multiple pricing to Nigeria because there was only one fare when we started. I started coming from Virgin Nigeria after working on Virgin Atlantic. And the aim was if somebody's paying 10,000, there probably was somebody who prepared to give you 6,000 naira to get on that empty seat. Because as soon as that airplane took off, the seat is useless. It's like a rotten apple or a rotten orange. While the airline could have gotten 6,000 naira for that seat. So we then started putting different prices, 10,000, 6,000, and there were also some people who could have paid more than 10,000, but we were only taking 10,000 from them. So we also put higher fares. Now, how do I then prevent the man who is prepared to pay 12,000 from paying 6,000? That's where segmentation comes down.
Nigeria will save about 190 billion naira annually if it builds a maintenance, repair and overhaul MRO facility in the country. This is the submission of participants at a one-day aviation seminar which held in Lagos in conjunction with Boeing Aircraft Manufacturing Company.
More gratifying.
Most of the experts present at the occasion said that the absence of the facilities in the country since the demise of the former national carrier, Nigeria Airways, has led to huge capital flights from the country.
It has been a lot of capital flights out of this country, having to take our aircraft out of the country to maintain. It's been a lot. You pay in foreign currencies, and that is depleting not only the resources of the airlines, but also the resources of the country. But here, you have someone who is trying to establish a maintenance hangar. It will provide jobs for the country. It will provide jobs for the critical mass of unemployed youth in this country. It's going to conserve our resources.
They opine that the only way the Nigerian aviation industry could optimize its inherent potential was for the government to support private investors to establish MRO facilities for all commercial airplanes rather than taking them abroad for various checks.
The fact that Boeing agreed to set up
here in Nigeria is something which is commendable to those who have gone all that far to get them to come out here. In the air industry, it's a capital-intensive project. Imagine if you have to repair your aircraft, you have to take it out of your country to another country, and during that period you are not operating. There's so much loss that is incurred. So when this is done here, it saves you the losses which you have sustained, and it also encourages your clients to be aware that if there's anything faulty with their aircraft, it could be attended to in no time here.
Domestic carriers in Nigeria have to scale up their marketing strategies if they must become profitable. That's the opinion of most experts at this forum. While most operators lament the high cost of aviation fuel, the issue of foreign exchange and multiple taxes from agencies of government as a major hindrance to growth, employing modern marketing strategies to business performance is also key.
The active participation of Nigeria in the world aviation market is very small. We can do more because we have certain advantages that other countries don't have. We have the travelers, which is the most important ingredient. Nigerians travel in very large numbers, but now to the benefit of other airlines, not Nigerian airlines. We want the aviation money to recirculate in Nigeria. Now all the money is going out of Nigeria through aviation. Not enough of it is turned around within Nigeria. We like to see Nigerian operators carrying Nigerian passengers within Nigeria. We'd like to see Nigerian aircraft participating in the movement of passengers that are going out of this country in larger percentage.
We need to look at the possibility of cooperation amongst the airlines and the practitioners within the sector to be able to move forward. And of course, even the government and the regulatory agencies to be able to help these airlines because they are going through a lot of fees, charges, on them. And there's a lot that has to be done to be able to assist, this particular industry from total collapse.
The Delta State government has announced that it will soon shut the Asaba airport as repairs on the runway continue on the B section. This is part of plans to ensure that the airport meets the required safety standard as stipulated by the Nigeria Civil Aviation Authority. Governor Ifeanyi Okowa said major repairs on the A section of the runway is nearing completion. Governor Okowa made the statement while on tour of the ongoing upgrade of the airport.
The International Air Transport Association is meeting in Mexico, and top on the agenda is carbon emissions and the fight against terror. That's after the break. Do join us again.